In this video, we're gonna go over some of the tips and tricks that has definitely made my experience a whole lot better. And if you have any good tips do you want to share about the new world, please leave them in the comments down below. The first tip we're going to be covering is going to be quick salvaging. We've all tried this before. Hold down S, left click with your mouse and get this. However, did you know if you hold down your control, then hold down your S, it's going to change to quick salvage and you will not get the entire prompt. So this can be super dangerous because it goes really fast to get rid of some of your stuff like this. However, it can save you a ton of time if you are crafting a ton of the same items and they don't stack. Quick salvaging is a time saver. However, it also brings us to locking your items so you don't accidentally end up salvaging them, especially if you start playing around with the quick salvage. If you hover over any item and then you hold down your L key, you can lock the item from being salvaged. I didn't know this until a little while ago, so now I can't salvage this item. It has this nice little lock on it, and unlock this item to allow it to be salvaged again. This can save you a whole world of trouble simply just by not accidentally ending up deleting something that you really did not want to delete. However, I don't need this set of epic boots, so we're gonna quick salvage that as well. Another tip is gonna make it a lot easier for you to fast travel around for less ASOS. Anything you drag onto your character is not gonna count towards the weight. Right here we have the strong proficiency booster. If we drag that out here, oh by the way, you can basically drag any kind of meat and food items out into your 3, 4, 5, 6 bars, which then will make them weigh less. So if you have a ton of red meat or anything like that because you've been out hunting, then do that to get your expenses on the ASOS travel down if you need to. However, pay attention in the top right corner to the weight. When I'm putting in the proficiency booster, the weight will go down quite significantly because we have a lot of pots, so we are now saving 8 units of inventory space simply by dragging it to our bars. This can be very helpful if you have very heavy stuff laying around in your bags. This is not as much a tip as it is simple, just general knowledge, but I still get the question quite often on my streams. What is the benefit of having a house? The simple benefits of having a house is that you can fast travel to your house. If you have the expensive house, which is 20,000, you get 50% off the purchase of your first house. So we only paid 10,000 for our very first house. The cooldown time is only 2 hours from whenever you fast travel to the house until you can do it again. However, there is actually the option to reset it by using ASOS. So if you go in here, you can recall to the house. Let's do that real fast, and then I'll run right outside of town again and I show you that you can actually reset the cooldown. So you basically get to fast travel to your house as much as you want for a nice little sum of ASOS. We made it outside of town again. Simply just go back here. Look, if I want to reset, I can pay 49 ASOS to reset the cooldown. I'm pretty sure this actually does depend on how long it has been since you have traveled to the house, and also something to do with your weight. Like right now, it would make more sense to do the other. However, if you end up buying a house that is not the 20,000 gold one, the reset time is going to be different. If you buy the 15,000, it's going to be 3 hours. If you buy the 10,000, it's going to be 4 hours. And if you buy the 5,000 gold house, why can't I say gold? It's going to be 5 hours in between the fast travel. So you need to make sure that it's going to be worth it. You can of course just pay off the ASOS to get the fast travel. Another thing with having a house is that you get the opportunity to place down these containers, which is going to add storage unit to your storage shed. You can access your storage in here as well, but then they do add into this as well. Any of these container is the small crafted one, adds 200 units of storage to this city. We're currently in Everfall, and you can see they're not very expensive. The only thing that you really need to worry about is getting the minor rune of holding. However, as you level up your furnishing, you are going to be able to make even larger storage chests. You can see here, this one is an iron storage chest. I haven't yet gotten to it, but I do believe that it is then going to give you the opportunity to probably hold like 300 or 400 extra storage units. Some crafts does require a rune of holding. Where you find those is by your faction commander. Go to your faction commander, open up the faction board, buy rewards, and then just scroll down a little bit. You'll find the minor rune of holding, which is needed for small bags, and then just scroll down even further, you get the major rune, and even further you get the greater rune. Obviously you can find the grand rune of holding as well, and yes, they do cost quite a good chunk of tokens and a little bit of gold as well. Another thing with the houses is that you can own 3 in total in the entire game. However, in each of these houses you can be placing trophies. Trophies are gonna be something that's actually going to give you passive buffs in the world, and I'm pretty sure they stack. So if you have 3 houses, you can put in, I think it's up to 15 trophies, and they're all going to work towards making your character a little bit better. Another neat tip that I wish I knew when I started New World is simply, if your faction controls the town you're hanging out in, you can find stuff like this. A hide supply card here in Everfall is going to give you a little bit of leather. There's log cards in Brightwood, I think it is, and random stuff like that. So if your faction controls the main city, see if there is any kind of benefits like this. There is always also the well. You can always go there and grab a little bit of water. Some of the cities has a cow, so you can go and get some milk, and most of them has this as well, where you can run around and grab a little bit of honey as well. Definitely does help out, especially when you're leveling cooking. Come on, Segi, what the hell? Another neat thing is as well that you can look through all of your storage locations simply by going to any of your storage sheds, and even better, if your faction owns 2 cities, including the one that you're standing in, and then one of the other ones, you can actually transfer items from one place to the other simply by dragging it into your inventory. And this is going from Cutlass Key to me, who's standing in Everfall. You have to pay a small fee to do that. They have fixed a bug where you ended up having to pay for the entire stack of whatever. If you want to split them up, simply splitting up items is hold down your control key, left click with your mouse, and decide how many you want to move into your inventory. When you get a little higher level with your crafting, you can run into the issue that you need a crafting station, let's say 4 or 5 of a certain thing, before you're going to be able to craft the items that you want to be crafting. You can actually find out about what the different cities has to offer simply by clicking on them here as well. Scroll down here, and over here on the right side you will be able to see, well, they currently have a tier 5 forge, a tier 5 workshop and such in Windward. If we're then looking for a tier 4 outfitting station, we can see it's only tier 2, so we need to continue looking. Maybe they'll have it down here, and yeah, there is a tier 5 here in First Light. Anyway, this is the first of these kind of videos that I do. If you do like to see more New World content, make sure to hit the subscribe button on this channel. Give it a like if you like it as well, and honestly, most importantly, drop your tips and tricks. Who knows, maybe I'll feature them in the next video we do of these kinds. Thank you so very much for watching.